This is JordanTower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button.
Introducing Blanca La Fina, a dope artist. Go check out her new video, Private Dancer, below. Blanca La Fina, all links below.
Let's get right into the news. All right, so we got Camron. He's going back and forth with a Harlem-based podcast, okay? They have been critical. I don't know every single detail about this because this is really like Harlem business type stuff. These are Big L's friends to my knowledge, okay? Beat 139, right? And basically they've been defending Big L and the thing, you know, Mace has been saying stuff about Big L on the show with Camron and, you know, a bunch of stuff like that. And they've been critical of it, been critical of Camron. They've been bringing up old stories with Camron and different people in Harlem and trying to debunk stuff. And some of these people are past, you know, and I know someone's going to be listening to me right now and understand this situation front to back. Okay, so I'm admitting I don't know the situation front to back. I just know this is Harlem business right here, and they're having issues. Okay, now what I don't get is Camron. He's like, he called into their show. They've been having some back and forth, from podcast to podcast, right? So Camron calls into the show while it's live, and he argues with them. And this is what I don't get, because if part of the, when you're having a problem with somebody, it's best for Camron. Like, this is a huge misstep on Camron's part to feel like you have to defend yourself and confront the people that are talking about you. To be honest, they don't have a lot of followers on their thing. No disrespect, you know, but compared to what Camron's doing and what they're doing, all he's doing is lifting them up and bringing more attention to them so more people can tune into their show and slander Camron. So this is Camron's using an old tactic where he would, you know, he did this with 50 and he did this with some other stuff where you call in and you confront the people talking about you, thinking that you're gonna win, you know, somehow that way, and you're not. All you're doing is bringing more attention to the situation. So Camron tried to do his old tactics where he goes in, doesn't really let the person talk, and then laughs in their face. All he's doing is making these guys more poppin'. So really, they win. At the end of the day, they won. You know, they got his attention. He responded, and now it's more content, to be honest with you. So Camron definitely took an L on this one. I love Camron's show. I think Camron's funny, you know, but he's not. You got to play the internet differently, you know, and he should know that. It's been 15 years since we've had these, you know, we've had Instagram and Twitter, and you kind of got to learn how to maneuver with all that stuff. Even World Star. 50 Cent. So Fat Joe has something called Ghetto Runways, and he's talking about how he went out super fly to some event. 50 Cent was there. You know, he spent a ton of money on a Louis Vuitton outfit and everything, and 50 Cent was laughing at him, saying, you spend all this money on this drip, and they don't even give you the top well-dressed person. And it's true. He's like, Fat Joe, what are you doing this for? You're spending all this money to look fly, and at the end of the day, you don't even get recognized for it. Like, save your money, bro. Like, and it's true. It's true. Okay, so Keisu's dad speaks out. I guess this it's been a long time since he's really spoken to the people about everything. This is the guy who told on his own son, basically. And now his son's doing, I think his son's doing life, right? This is about that rapper who murdered somebody in Florida, caught in 4K on camera. So his dad was like, I'm not going to jail for this. took the stand. So here's what he said.
They say I better leave Jacksonville if I want to. See, I'm Muslim. We understand the only way to meet God is through the graveyard. See, we love death like y'all love life. That's going to give me the odds all the time. Because y'all don't want to die. It don't matter to me. They say I better leave Jacksonville.
And he says, okay, so I'm hearing a lot of guys saying I was supposed to take that charge. One of my guys ain't going to go down. Oh, what's he saying? One of my guys ain't going to go down there and say it was me. I thought it was if you do the crime, you do the time. So if you didn't do the crime, still do the time? Hey, I don't know, man. Listen, there's a code of the street, and then there's like, there's real life out here, okay? I don't think his dad was willing to go to jail for the rest of his life for his son's actions. You could disagree with that, or you could agree with it. It depends on how you view life. Part of me is like, dude, you brought your son up. It's kind of, you brought him up to be a gangster, right? So you obviously live by those same codes and morals. Maybe you should just go with it. I don't know. But, you know, his dad decided to take the stand. There's a lot of ways to look at that, you know? A lot of ways to look at that. So I'm not going to say one thing or another, you know? How do you feel? You let me know in the comments, because, you know, would you have ratted if you were his dad, or would you have just taken the time? So Diddy, the ex-videographer, goes off saying the leaked footage was taken without permission. Okay, he says that, and this is smart, because now it makes him pointing the finger. It's like hot potato. It's like a game of hot potato, right? Hey, you know, I left my computer open. I was gone, and they stole my footage, right? It's the game of hot potato. Like, okay, it's not me, it's them. It's them. You keep pointing the fingers at somebody else, you know? Sean Combs, former videographer, speaking about the footage and the thing, he says it was stolen without his permission. He's been working on a documentary for 2 years, and you know, somebody took the footage off his computer and sold it to Netflix, whatever, you know, sold it to the team that was working on the Netflix documentary. This is a good way to get out of the situation, because legal issues will be flying at this point, you know. Max Speed does an interview with Danza Project. Look out for that. On this, he talks about everyone accusing him of being a snitch and everything. He says, you know, you'll get your little 5 minutes, you know, 15 minutes of fame, and then poof, nobody cares anymore. And he's right. You know, they could accuse Max B of a million things. It doesn't matter. Like, he's here, he's doing his music, and you know, he's selling out shows, and he says, you know, I don't feel the pressure of trying to prove that I can rap, or prove I can do this, or prove I'm not a snitch. I'm here, I'm living life, and I'm here to stay. And I think that's a good way to move about it, you know, because if you go podcast to podcast trying to explain away everything, when you're not going to win, you might as well just move on. This is Aaron the plumber's ex-girlfriend. She says he liked her to play with his behind. Whoa. Go on No Jumper to check out that. Okay, that's a little suspect. Milagro and Tasha K get together. Two women that have been taken to court by different female rappers for a lot of money. They wanted millions. Tasha K lost hers and owes $4 million. Technically, Megan Thee Stallion won hers and is owed $59,000 to from Milagro, but we'll see what they talk about on their podcast. I don't think they should even talk about the situation. Pooh Shiesty finally releasing First Day Out this Friday. Okay, he's making a lot of weird things. Like, he's buying all his team chains, 13 people chains. He's spending a lot of money without a lot of income coming. I would make sure people are still buying my rap, you know, my music before I start making moves like that. Burn Poe, he's always mimicking funny pictures from Big Meech. 50 Cent salutes Alexandra Stapleton, who is the director of the Diddy film. And Tekashi covers up his face tattoo with a lion right before going to jail. And then we got, this situation right here. Brick Baby thinks we care. Brick Baby thinks we care. He said he debunks that he got 92 months. He says, he'll be home soon.
Break not the trick, man. Hey, look, everything that glitter ain't gold, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll be home soon, man. You know?
I don't know about that, but hey. Meek Mill previews a world tour after sold-out Philly show. Listen, I'm not trying to be too harsh on Meek Mill, but there's a reason why that show sold out. He had Young Thug, G Herbo, Tierra Whack, Jim Jones, 42 Doug, Roddy Ricch, YFN Lucci, a bunch of people, the whole State Property. You can't take them all on world tour. They're going to want money. People showed up for you at this show. One of his billionaire friends put up the money for the show. Yeah, obviously, Meek Mill made money too, but they went in on the show, and it was a success. People showed up for them. It's Philly, I'm glad the city stood up for him. But to think that you're going to take this show on the road is delusional. Meek Mill hasn't toured in a long time, and I don't even know if he could sell a tour out at this point. A lot of rappers that are actually super relevant right now have trouble selling out a tour. So, I don't know. And then we got Alpo. We're going to get more into this later, but, Camron was floating the idea that Alpo could still be alive with Sin City on his show. But I think that's actually true. I think Alpo didn't die that day. I think that he was shot at, and there's a lot of reasons behind that. I think Alpo is definitely still alive, but back in witness protection. They just moved him. He was getting a little too crazy. Anyways, this is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and I'll check you guys the next one. If you want to run ads in the channel, jordantowermedia@gmail.com. Peace.
Introducing Blanca La Fina, a dope artist. Go check out her new video, Private Dancer, below. Blanca La Fina, all links below.